for the moment. I'm gonna like wait a couple more minutes. So. Okay. Celine, did you get to the meeting minutes? Or thank you. We're waiting for a couple more. We have 14 people plus Gustavo, who is joining us for the call today. Yeah, so cool beans.
I've got a quick question, if that's all right.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
So on the Google Docs that you just sent out before the meeting notes template, it was just a bunch of pictures, and it said that it was the measurements. I didn't see any measurements in that document though.
Yeah, so no worries. We are working on putting the measurements into that. So what we're going to be doing is we took pictures of the propulsion system and we tried to get as close to you can like see each little piece of the dimensions for all of the little parts. And we're gonna put like text over it because like putting it in a CAD, like we wanted to get like the actual real ones, so you can only have like the actual pictures. So the actual pictures will have like the little dimensions labeled on it. So the team members who came and measured it are gonna transcribe their measurements onto it, and so they'll have that done by next Friday. So we'll, by the time we get around to machining, the like tapping them and then drilling the holes and stuff, we'll have the full thing. So.
Got it. Thanks.
No worries.
Also, whenever I was measuring the countersink bolts, it was only the 0.5. I didn't see a 0.75 bolt.
Like this was 0.75 or
no,
this?
like on the document, there's 2 bolts, but I only saw 1. So I only measured the 0.5 bolt, but there's also a 0.75 bolt apparently.
Yes, we are gonna purchase those ones.
Okay.
They're part of the order list that I'm making. So we have to buy them first. Yeah. So okay. that is something to purchase.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, it's 4:10, so I think most everyone is here. This is Dr. Hungerford, guys. This is my propulsion sub-team. This is our lab professor, Dr. Hungerford. He's super cool. So yeah. So we're gonna be talking about how to machine some of these pieces. We 3D printed a part to rest them in so that the drill press is accurate for it. And it holds our motor inside of the body too. We were thinking about it. Emily just wanted to make sure that like if we had some parts, we could come speak to you. Like she just wanted to establish that relationship. If that's okay.
No, that's fine. You needed to get over there and get something done. If you want to do that, then I'm not going to have some drawing.
Yeah.
And along with submissions and other things.
Okay.
But if you don't need it, then it's fine.
Yeah, not right.
I have to make an appointment to go and see him because he's there, but then he's not there because everybody else is.
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So they said hello. Uh, me too. Me too. So essentially what we're going to be going over is like I have the meeting notes pulled up from like last time. I just hand wrote a bunch of stuff, so I will share my screen for that. So there's quite a lot of tasks that need to be done for it. Oh, brother. We're good. What? Oh, okay. There's quite a lot of tasks that need to be done. The most important of which, right, is machining the centering rings, cleaning those up, and then drilling like the thrust plate and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give me a second to look at the tasks that I assigned you guys. Which, by the way, thank you for everyone for filling out the form. That was super helpful, and I hope, like, I know that some people are gonna be pushed a little bit out of their comfort zone, especially in regards to machining. But I think that's also a really great way for you guys to expand your skill. And you don't have to machine every single part, but maybe if you even do just one and you're there to see other, perhaps more experienced people do it, you'll get to learn. I mean, I'm going to be learning too. It's really good opportunity for y'all for that. But yes, so we measured the MMM today. That was the first task that we needed to do. Now that we have all the measurements, I believe that Hong, Celine, and Ben are going to take those measurements and update the CADs. I did notice that for sure the thrust plate is slightly different from this year than last year. The biggest difference is that the inner diameter is very clean on the new thrust plate. On the old one, it was like, I don't know. Y'all could see, look at this wobble going on. It's not exactly precise. So that's going to be a clear difference. I think also the motor retainer ring is going to be different too. Yes, so this piece I think is going to be slightly different than what the CAD may have, especially as compared to last year. So yeah. We have a version of it yet.
I was getting one from Eric, and now it's kind of incomplete, so I'm getting one.
Oh, okay. I will talk to you about it after the meeting. If that's all right. But yes. Anyway, also Harry's here and he says hello. Anyway, so there's lots of things to do. We got the first part done, which is great, which means that the people who helped measure, once you guys update everything, the people who are going to fix the CAD can, you know, like note the differences and stuff like that. Great stuff. Those two are really important for having right documentation. And so that's actually a pretty big relief because the CAD was always changing last year, and having like a solid one that actually reflects the real MMM is fantastic. So appreciate that. And the next step is taking those pieces and then actually like drilling them and stuff. So the most important thing is, right, I already told you, for the machining, we have Caleb, Adrian, Anthony, Ben, Joaquin, Carlos, Osvaldo, and Oscar. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Please let me know if I have. We're going to be drilling these holes through the centering rings. These are what connect the whole MMM system inside of the body tube to the airframe itself. They use like number 10 wood screws, I believe. And they're not there so much as to like absorb the force as to just stabilize it inside of the rocket. So yes. Dominic and and Emily and some recovery team members actually helped us print a piece, and I'm gonna come show you guys to stabilize. Wait, let me get. So we put the centering ring in this piece and then mount it vertically to use the drill press to go down into the holes. It fits in there like that. And so what happens is, did you guys see it? I don't know if did I turn it too fast? Bro, it's on my computer. It's hard, okay? There's no back camera on a computer. Yeah, so it sits in there like that. And there are, oh, it's upside down. That's great. There are these holes drill into the 3D printed piece that we have. And then that is put into a thing like that so that it's steady and stable and we don't accidentally drill a diagonal hole and then ruin the whole thing. So that's the basics of what we're going to be doing next Friday a little bit. I think that's the first thing that we're going to be working on. So for sure, the couple of people that I've assigned to the centering rings, next Friday in the lab, you're going to be coming in and doing that. Yeah, because in case we don't get some of like the taps in time, it would just be better to do that. Yeah. So I'm going to go through and kind of just explain some of the machining stuff that we're going to be doing. But basically the first step is going to be tapping the thrust plate, right? This, as a reminder, sits on the bottom of the MMM. It has the motor retainer ring attached to it. We've drawn on here a little T for the top and a B for the bottom. So the top is going to be touching the actual body tube, the airframe, yes. And it has different size holes, if you guys can see. So what we're going to be doing is these little holes, we're tapping them to fit the small screws we have for the motor retainer ring, and it goes over like that. For the larger holes, we're going to be tapping them for our screws. And it's important to note that the red dictates where you will start to drill from or tap from, I guess. If it's marked in red and there's like little red lines, you start from that side. So you tap downwards into it. And this is really important because I don't know if I made this clear last time, that the bottom centering ring has these screws going downwards and the top centering ring has those screws going up. So that's the direction we're going to be tapping them, to my knowledge. And like the thrust plate, like, yeah, because the yeah, the thrust plate's like that too. So cool. So that's for the thrust plate. This is not tapped, by the way. The motor retainer ring is not. The bottom centering ring, we are going to be tapping every other hole you guys can see here, because the other holes that like we're not tapping, those have they screw into the thrust plate because we tapped those ones on the thrust plate. So we don't need to tap those ones, if that makes sense. Cool. So yeah, every other one on that, again, it sits like this and we go like that. And then for the top centering ring, again, like very basic labeling, we're tapping all of them, going like that. Cool. So
do you use hand taps or drill taps for that?
drill. Yeah, I think so. I'm not precisely sure on the exact we're buying taps for them and drill bits and stuff like that. I need to speak with Eric more on exactly how the process like works, because I also don't want to like say stuff out of turn that's incorrect to you guys. Like so yeah. But we're getting a list of things that we need to ensure that those are drilled correctly. So what comes in that list and how Eric explained it to me, I'll be able to relay more to you guys. That's from what I understand how the process is going to go so far. So that's the centering ring. Is there any more questions? Sorry, I don't want to like skip over anything.
Just to check, for drilling those holes in the centering ring, do we have a center punch?
We are getting a punch. Yes. Yeah, definitely. That was like one of the most important things. I have like 3 exclamation points on it next in my notes. So yeah.
You should make it 4.
You know what? Can do. I will do that. Yeah, let's see. We need 4, right? Perfect. We have 4 now. Cool. So that's that on the centering rings. Next really we have to do is yes, we have to countersink the brackets. We are also buying countersinking stuff for that too, so we're able to do that. Right now the screws sit up slightly higher than we can get it lower than that. I believe from what I discussed with Eric that cool, where are the pictures? Yeah. So right now it's at like it's slightly too high. In real life it's like 0.1655 inches. But on the CAD it's 0.102 inches. So there's like a whole 0.05 inches we can get cut off of it. So in real life it's slightly higher, but you know, any more clearance that we can get to avoid having the heads be close to each other would be great. So even though like this is an example of what we're gonna do, I just want to like let you guys know, like so everyone's aware. We're going to be countersinking this even further, so it's even more flush. So yeah, depending on how long it takes us to tap stuff, I'm not entirely sure, and all that jazz. We might be able to start working on this the same day, or maybe take some time on the Saturday afterwards. I'm not like once we get a better idea of how long it takes to do those things, then I'll be able to help schedule us so that everyone gets more time in the lab, because I want to make sure everyone can come in and touch everything and get a good understanding in their head of what it looks like. So yeah. So that's pretty big too. And then what else do we need to do? Right. Cool. So that's like probably the last major like machining kind of thing. I know I said like centering rings and then also tapping. Those will probably happen concurrently, because as we're like, you know, tapping the thrust plate and stuff like that, we're gonna need someone to be deburring this piece right here. It's got like that slight little bit that's kind of off. So we need someone to be doing that. And also preferably someone to be cleaning these pieces off because they're slightly oxidized and they're still good. I checked with the manufacturer. We need to just keep them nice, you know? So that's that's kind of what the goal is for next week. We're gonna take care of all of those things. So yeah, the people who I assigned to do the centering rings and to tap, you guys will be coming in the lab next Friday for sure. People who are gonna do the countersinking and the nozzle, we could probably even go the next week too, because I mean we still have till November. Like, we don't need to rush it. I would rather do it a little bit slower and make sure that we get it like really, really good, because this is the system we're going to be using next June. I don't want to make you guys have to redo the system when it's already really good and focus just on, making a badass, or researching to make a badass, salt like hybrid or liquid motor or whatever. So yeah, so that's the goal for next week. Pretty cool. The week afterwards, probably doing the brackets, and most importantly, the nozzle. So as you can see, this is the motor liner. That's what the fuel grains go in. Whenever we assemble the fuel grains, like you stack them one on top of the other and then tape them really carefully and cover them in epoxy and then slide the motor liner over the top of it. Motor liner is not reusable. Obviously, it's completely charred and burned on the inside. So, which I mean, very obviously, there's a kind of a rocket explosion inside of there. But the nozzle is reusable, and there's a whole fairly lengthy process of removing it from the motor liner. And we need to do it very carefully because this bad boy is a little fragile and $90. And I don't want to buy a new one. Preferably, we can, and we might if we get enough funding for next launch. That would kind of be cool. But suffice to say, I spoke with the manufacturer about how to remove it, and he gave us a full list of instructions and a document to do so. So we should be okay on doing that, and I'm for sure going to be with you guys to do all of these things. Hopefully mostly overseeing, but with this one in particular, I might be a little bit more hands-on, because this is fragile, so cool. Just so we're all on the same page for that. So yeah, I think that's most everything we need to physically do for the MMM. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Cool.
Question. I wasn't able to stay today for the measuring because I have an exam, so I had to study for it.
Okay.
Is there a way if I can go next Friday?
We have measured everything so far, but if you want to come at maybe 1:30 and I can show you the whole lab and everything and introduce you to the pieces and explain kind of what we're gonna do, would that work for you?
Yeah, that'll work. That's
Okay,
fine.
cool. Just because we do have a cap on the number of students, and so I do want you to be able to come in, and I want to meet you and show you everything. But I also need to make sure that the people who are going to be doing the machining will have the necessary time to do so. So cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. I was going to say something. Right. Any more questions? Or yeah, I know, freaking Slack. Okay. So after we've completely built everything, the next important step is going to be talking with structures over the fins. It's actually kind of really critical for the launch because I'm not really sure what structures have decided to do in terms of the fins. Emily, do you have an idea of what they've decided to do?
Because of the new MMM design being a lot different from the old one, they're gonna have to cut new fins. So they're getting ready to do that Yeah, they're gonna cut new ones in accordance to the specifications of the MMM.
Okay, sweet. I know that's more work for them, but I mean, we're gonna need those new fins for June anyways, so yeah. Cool, okay. Well, that makes that easier. Awesome. I was just gonna be like, we need to work with structures so much on integrating the old fins, but no, we're good.
Yeah, me and Ravi talked about it, and we both agreed that it was just much easier to go ahead and cut new ones rather than try and fight the two systems and make them match. So we're gonna go ahead and do that.
Yay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Cool. Obviously, we still need people to be talking with structures over the fins, and who did I assign people to do that? Yes, so Celine and Tara. Is it Tara or Tara? I don't know if she's here. But yeah, you two will be speaking with structures about that. I might actually move one of you guys to be talking with analysis because I mean, I was really worried about the fins integrating because these brackets are a completely different size than the ones that we used last year. Oh, I'm just, as you guys can see, like completely different size and different hole heights. So okay, sweet. Yeah, that's pretty rad. So yeah, you guys will just probably be talking with structures and like meeting up with them a little bit. And for Adrian for speaking with analysis for integration, so everyone knows, but really so I can fully explain the task. I believe I already mentioned that analysis is putting 3 thermocouple measuring systems on the MMM at like 3 different points. We need to speak with them how we're actually going to achieve that. Because if we need to drill a hole through this, we need to speak with them on how to do that. Because that's kind of a lot of work for us. And we would need to be doing that through 2 centering rings. The top centering ring, no, because of the other one, because there's 3. Well, because we need to drill it through this one and the second one up there. Yeah, so we need to be drilling it through the top centering ring of the MMM, the bottom part of the MMM with the fins, and then the wooden one that we have, which is, let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna need a hole running through both of these, probably in the same position. So that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. It might not be as bad for the wood one, but I'm concerned if we have to drill something through the wood one, it's gonna split like we had a split last year, or 2019, 18. So yeah, well, that's a pretty important conversation we're gonna need to have with them. Because I really want for them to be able to do that. And if it's not realistic for us to get it done in time for the test launch, we also need to be aware of that too. So just so that's that task fully explained. Javier is in charge of analysis. So Adrian, when you get a chance, I would recommend reaching out to him and setting up a meeting with him and whoever is in charge of the thermocouples on that team, if that's all right. Please invite me to that meeting. I will try my best to make it so that, you know, you are going to like try and lead the discussion there with them. But I want to like be there to support you and be aware of what's being said, you know? Cool. I think that's all the tasks that I have explained, other than we all need to practice assembling and disassembling it, you know, and then like making sure we keep good documentation of what we're doing, like taking pictures, taking notes and things like that. So yeah, Does anyone have any overall questions? Okay. Cool. Well, this was a pretty not too long of a meeting. So I mean, basically going forth, once we have all of the measurements filled out, translate them to the CAD. They're going to have them filled out by next Friday. I signed them that deadline. So that way we can start working on updating stuff. And then we will machine for sure the centering rings and breastplate, like tap and machine them on next Friday. So those 4 people who are involved in that, please come in next Friday at 2 p.m. I'll be here. Cool. And then if it takes longer, we'll organize another time. If it takes shorter, that'll be cool too. And then in the weeks following, we'll update the tasks more. So yeah. Hopefully I explained it well enough, kind of how we're going to be doing stuff. We can also ask Eric some more questions over the exact specifics of the tools that we're going to be using, because I have an idea, but like I would also want someone who is a little bit more of an expert to tell you if I can't answer it. So yeah, cool. Alrighty, that's all that I have, unless y'all want to ask anything or chit chat or. Yep.
It's Friday, sorry.
What's up?
Friday. So we're so quiet. We're tired.
Oh my gosh, you're so quiet. Could you speak up? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
It's Friday. That's why we're so quiet. We're worn out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
I have a question. I know that Dawn mentioned how we're gonna drill the holes on the MMM. Have we found a way yet we're gonna do it or design?
Yeah. So we 3D printed yesterday, or not me in particular, but Emily. Dominic made a design that lets the centering ring sit into it. And we are going to secure it with the bolts. So I guess we need to tap it first. So tapping will need to occur first. Yeah. Okay. And then once it's secure inside of the 3D print, it has slots for us to drill into it. Oh, and very important note, we're only going to be drilling to like about here. I have the specific measurement, but like it's only to about here. We obviously aren't going to be going all the way through because this sits flush with the motor casing, so we shouldn't be drilling all the way through. And I think we decided on half an inch drilling into it. A quarter inch would have been fine, according to Eric, but I felt safer going for half an inch, just to be completely sure. So yeah. I'm not sure. I can check my notes later. But yeah, so we do have a piece. Sorry, like suffice to say, yeah, we do have a piece, and it's been printed, and it should be fine. So cool. Yep. If you guys also have other designs that you've made and want us to try them out, that would also work. That's just the one that we have right now. And I mean, it's functional for sure. But if you have something different, please also let us know. Send us the files and we'll see if it's like a good option. So, yeah. Yep. Okay, cool. So that's that. I mean, I have nothing else technical to discuss with you guys. Oh, yes. Last final general reminder. Pay your dues if you haven't. I haven't checked to see who has and who hasn't, but I will, and I'll be on you if you haven't. So yeah. Cool.
Someone in the chat, they sent the list of the people that hadn't paid. It's there as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go investigate, but so make sure you do that. And in a couple of weeks, we are going to have a second general meeting for AIAA, which you guys, of course, are all invited to and encouraged to attend. Obviously, it's not required if you're busy. I'm not gonna like be mad at you, but it's pretty cool. Our last speaker event was not as it was a little bit very technical, and this one I think is going to be a little bit more of an overview of what Jacobs Aerospace does, so it might be slightly more of a presentation versus a technical report, which is interesting. But you know, there's like sometimes people are more interested in like learning about rockets or whatever, you know, or like some of the work that Jacobs is doing right now is on like the spacesuits for going back to the moon. One of our alumni actually is working on like they have like external lights on the spacesuit, and he's working on how to like secure it on the suit and make sure that the screws or whatever are like pressurized, left sealed well enough so that the light doesn't explode or some nonsense like that. So that's kind of neat. And I think he's also going to be giving part of that presentation at the meeting. So you should definitely go because it's going to be super cool. And also, they're doing recruiting. So it's kind of neat. If y'all are interested in being recruited, or at least looked at and considered. You know. So, yeah. And hopefully, I think Fabio, who is our lab, like, he's making sure that everything is organized and clean in the lab. And he's our historian for AIAA. He's going to help us set up a watch party for the 29th. So it's in 4 days. SpaceX is launching a Falcon 9. It's got a military satellite on it. And it's the third time they've done it for the military. So that's cool too. And you guys can come hang out with the rest of us space nerds and watch their rocket land and go up. So yeah, that's all my updates for AIAA stuff. So yeah. So if you guys need to go, that's also chill. Or if you want to stick around and talk for a couple minutes just to get to know each other, I'm sorry we can't be in a more social setting, which is really frustrating and sad, but this is the best I got for you for the moment. So yeah. Cool. No, everyone's vibing.
Oh yeah, we're vibing.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that's really the whole thing. Who's going tomorrow to the dry runs?
I am.
Yay!
So am I.
Awesome. I'll be there, so I'll get to see all you guys and actually meet you in the real world and not Zoom University. So that'll be fun. Cool. Whew. So is everyone got midterms coming up too? Is that also like kind of, or have you had them like this past week and it's just kind of like, oh, I can't wait for the weekend, but finally
Yeah,
it's
this makes
here.
me kind of crazy.
I have 3 on Monday.
Oh, good luck. Good
Yeah.
luck.
It's gonna
A
be
long
great.
weekend.
Yep.
Dude, same. I had one on Wednesday and it was like my diseases class. And it was pretty neat, but also a little bit gross, but very neat. So yeah.
Yeah, I have my last exam today, so
Oh, good luck. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
What class is it for?
Organic chemistry too.
Ew. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you. Oh man. Dude, I did OChem 1 and 2, and I can tell OChem 1 was pretty interesting, and OChem 2 just like kicked me, like curb stomped me, dude. Like it was not a good time.
I'm actually having an easier time with OChem 2. I struggled a lot with OChem 1, but now I'm like understanding stuff, so hopefully I do good.
I mean, I believe in you. You got this. Like,
Thank you.
absolutely, yeah. Also outside of Rocket Team, if you need, I'm BME, so I don't know if I'll be able to help on most classes that Neckies have, but if y'all need help on something, I can do my very best to assist. If it's like for school or personal life, whatever, just let me know. I don't want to overstep my bounds, but I also like want to make sure that I'm both your propulsion leader and your friend. So I'm here for you guys. As cheesy as that sounds. So yeah.
I have to go. I'll see you on Friday then.
Okay. I will probably end the meeting then, cause don't really need. But yeah. Oh, also, I did not read the chat till now, but yeah. Yeah, all the measurements are going to be in customary, which is unfortunate, but that's also it's dumb that they have to be in customary, but like when we go to like American hardware stores to buy American hardware, they're all in customary. So yeah, it's
The
dumb.
CAD is in millimeters, so should I, when we're going through and modifying it, should we also change the file configuration to be in inches instead of millimeters?
I think it's probably okay if for the CAD it's in millimeters, as long as the conversion is like right.
Okay.
For like, we just need it also in like inches for buying stuff, so that's more important. Yeah.
So would you prefer us to redraw it in inches?
If that makes it easier on you, I don't want to like force you to redraw the whole thing. If you can just make like a couple of small adjustments, you know.
It should be as easy as changing the file configuration in SolidWorks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You just go in there and edit the number, and it does it automatically. But I was just saying, like, saves time if it's from sitting there with a calculator and converting it to everything. But
okay.
You can put a number in inches, and it'll, as long as you type IN after it, it'll give you the conversion automatically.
yeah.
Okay. Yes. So maybe we should. Would it be too much to ask for one in inches and one in millimeters? I don't want to like. Don't do that, or okay, okay. So if that's not too much, that might be pretty cool. So that way we have the inches one for our like direct like actual reference, and then maybe for competition we can be like millimeters one or something like that if that's what they require. I need to like read the rules again, so yeah.
I mean, I think there's 3 drafters. I think we could split it up to do that. One person do inch, one person do millimeters.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Yes. All right. Thank you guys for coming to the meeting, and I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'll see you guys tomorrow for those who are going to be there. If not, I will see you next Friday, or maybe sooner if you come to the lab or something. So yeah. Alrighty. Bye everyone.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye.